This small building, home to a hair salon on Southwest Barber Boulevard, may look like it's in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. There's a ramp right out front, but it's not. Technically, the property is in violation of the ADA, explained Mike Davis. The ramp is too steep.
That's about 3 times as steep as it can be legally for the ADA requirement.
And there's no van-accessible parking.
Right now, you don't have any disabled parking.
No, we don't have any.
So they're requiring you to create some space.
Right.
Davis, who's owned the building for years, just learned about the ADA issues in January. Not from a customer in the shop, though. Instead, he was served this demand letter from a Portland attorney who proposed a settlement agreement. The lawyer wouldn't sue if Davis agreed to bring the property into compliance with the ADA and pay attorney's fees.
Couldn't have been any more blindsided. I'd never heard of such a thing.
And the clock was ticking. The lawyer wanted a deal within 2 weeks and payment of $10,000 in attorney's fees, according to Davis.
I mean, it seems like, it's extortion. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
It turns out this same Portland lawyer, David Foster, and another lawyer, Jessica Mulligan, have sued more than 35 small businesses in the Portland area since September, including this property, owned by Doug Huang's father.
My dad's been a property manager for, 20 plus years, and I don't think we've ever had a customer ever complain.
These convenience stores, restaurants, and gas stations are accused of violating some technical aspects of the ADA. The most common issue involves a lack of van-accessible parking spaces. The dimensions have to be exact, painted, and marked with a sign. Many businesses we spoke to had no idea they'd done anything wrong.
If they had said, hey, these are all the things that are wrong with it, please fix it on behalf of the ADA community, we would have done it, right? No problem.
The demand letters and lawsuits are mostly boilerplate. They use the same language and same 3 clients. Both attorneys refused our request for an on-camera interview. In a statement, Foster wrote, "Despite being on notice of the ADA and its requirements for decades, commercial property owners and businesses in this area have continued to discriminate against disabled individuals." The other lawyer added, "There is no government agency to enforce this law, and sadly, the burden falls on paraplegics and quadriplegics to enforce the ADA."
It's my hope that this won't reflect poorly on people with disabilities.
Tiana Tozer is a longtime advocate for people with disabilities who recently sued the city of Portland over sidewalk accessibility. She argues blindsiding small businesses with the threat of a lawsuit, then tacking on attorney's fees, is the wrong strategy.
I think businesses want to do the right thing, and I think that people with disabilities should give them the opportunity to do the right thing and only use lawsuits as a last resort.
Some small businesses we spoke with felt targeted because they have limited means to defend themselves.
Any lawsuit can get to $50,000, $60,000 with attorney's fees in a snap of a finger. So I think your better way is just to pay them.
Davis agreed to make the changes, which led to improved access. He just doesn't like how the lawyer went about it.
Well, it leaves me with a real bad taste in my mouth.
Davis, like many other small business owners threatened with litigation, wonders, is this really about access or attorney's fees?
Kyle joins me now. I got to say, I found myself gritting my teeth during this story because it seems like if you really wanted to bring about change, there's other ways to do this. What about Mike?
So he's made the changes, requested, paid some money to do that. His lawyer now is working on a settlement so that they can put that lawsuit aside.
And who are the plaintiffs? Because these lawyers represent real people who have disabilities, right?
Good question. So 3 of them, they are people with disabilities. In the lawsuits, they claim to have dealt with some kind of accessibility issue when visiting these actual businesses. We've actually done some stories on a couple of them, so we know who they are. We don't know if they're getting paid as part of this, though, or what kind of compensation there may be for their involvement.
And how often does this happen?
That's a good question. We really don't know. So we've been able to track the lawsuits that have been filed in court, but again, these demand letters are being sent out, and oftentimes they're being negotiated. There's payment of attorney's fees that we never hear about. They're not in the public record, so we have no way of knowing. I will tell you, I talked with one lawyer who represents some of these small businesses. He suggested there are roughly 15 clients who have received these demand letters, and only one ended in a lawsuit. So you look at those kind of numbers, there are probably a lot more out there.
Yeah, it's such a tough issue because, of course, ADA is there for a reason, and you want people to have accessibility, and yet the small businesses are struggling to begin with, and this probably doesn't help.
And that's the suggestion that these small businesses have. They say, we don't have a problem making these fixes. We understand the need for accessibility. It's the approach.
Yeah.
It's the threat of a lawsuit and demand for attorney's fees that just feels so wrong here.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for exposing this, Kyle. Appreciate it. Great story as always.